Hey guys, what's up? So I'm glad a lot of you guys didn't come. It's nasty out there, and much safer just to stay home. The first 2 weeks, like we talked about, are gonna be pretty simple anyway. So this should be pretty straightforward. It's gonna be a quick meeting anyway. So, but regardless, we're starting week 1 right now. I know a lot of you guys are anxious. I'm anxious. I want to get you guys that dip as soon as possible. We got a lot of work to do before we get there. So. First off, if you signed up to do the before measurements for week 1, that's supposed to be this week, you're going to do that next week. Everybody who signed up to do week 2 is going to do the week after, which technically would be week 3. Alright, so if you're supposed to go today, you're going to go next week. If you're supposed to go next week, you're going to go 1 week further. We'll just keep it really simple. Other than that, we're going to do all of the before pictures next week. So everybody's doing their pictures next week, even if you're not getting your measurements done. So real quick about the pictures, wear either really tight clothes or wear as few clothes as possible. Alright? For all the ladies, Dinah's going to be taking your pictures, so you don't have to worry about me sitting in front of you with a little camera. So wear sports bra, some booty shorts, whatever the hell you girls do. And if you're too uncomfortable wearing that, wear something that's really tight or tight enough, right? Because we want to see how your body changes. And if you're wearing something like this and you can't really see your body, then even if you did change dramatically, you're really not going to see it. And although you probably don't want to take the before picture, you're really going to want to take that after picture to see what changes. And we want to see that too. So make sure you do that. Everybody's doing that next week. Like I said, Dan's going to take those pictures. For the couple guys out here, I'll take your pictures. And then just know when you're going with the before measurements. Alright, so week 1. First off, if you can't see it on the whiteboard behind me because of the glare, don't worry. I'm going to write it on Facebook too. But hopefully you can see it. Alright, so we're going to jump right into it. Alright, so week to week we're going to have a couple things going on. It could change week to week. We're going to have a bunch of different lectures week to week. We're going to go 2 places certain weeks, like go to an actual grocery store, things like that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But first couple weeks are basically just easing us into everything. Even though what I'm about to give you may seem, well, to some of you actually may be really hard, but to some of you may be doing it already, it may not be that hard. It is really important, and it's laying the foundation for what comes later. So even though it's not crazy hard, it's really fucking important, alright? I have the results. You guys have seen the before and after pictures. This shit works. Just do it and it will work. I guarantee it. Alright, so each week there's going to be different rules laid out, things that you have to do day in, day out. And there's going to be certain restrictions, things that you can't eat anymore. And those 2 things, I'm going to be adding more and more rules and adding more and more restrictions. Basically, they're going to combine into each other. And by the time we hit week 7 or 8, you're not even going to know it, but you're going to be eating really fucking healthy. And like I said, because of how I lay it out and how simple it is and how they grow on each other, it's not that hard. Alright? What I'm about to give you now is probably as hard as it's ever going to be each week. It's just that each week builds on the last week. Okay? So in other words, don't worry. Just do what I tell you here. It won't be that bad, and then you'll be good to go. So, rule number 1. Alright? We're throwing you right into this. It's going to be Alright, so the first rule, you can't read that. It says, drink 1 bottle of water upon waking up. Alright? 1 bottle. This puppy. Couple tips here. 1, have it next to you as soon as you get out of bed. Put it in your hand and don't take it out of your hand until it's gone. Until all the water in there is done. This comes before coffee, before eating, before you leave for work, whatever. All right, it should be done before you do anything else. Get up, roll around, drink this, and do whatever else you got to do. Make it room temperature water. If this is cold water, that's just like fucking torture. Don't try to chug cold water; it's terrible. Now, this may actually be really hard for some of you, and I'll tell you this. After this week, it probably won't be that bad. The first couple of days getting used to it and actually making your body drink water is tough if you're not doing it already. But what you're probably not realizing is you are getting this much water probably within an hour of waking up already. It's just in different forms, whether it's coming from your foods, whether it's coming from if you guys are eating fruits or fruit juices, things like that, coffee, whatever the hell you guys drink. A lot of you guys have coffee, so you're already having liquids early in the morning. Everybody can do it. It's just now all you're doing is having one bottle of water. Alright? This is a simple but fucking powerful rule. This is number one. This is the only rule that you're doing this week. This is the only fucking thing you gotta do is drink a bottle of water when you wake up. Okay? It may seem silly now, but just wait. This alone, with where I'm going with this in a couple weeks, has been shown to have people lose up to 30 pounds in a month. Now that's typically really overweight people, so don't expect to lose 30 pounds, but it's powerful. Parentheses, that just says 500 milliliters, because that's how much is in a bottle. Get it done. Let me know. There's a few people who actually can't have that much water because it like blows them up. So if that's how you feel, let me know. Then at least have half the bottle as soon as you wake up. Work on the rest later. Alright, but that's the first rule. And it's a really fucking important one. Alright, so make sure you really are strict with that. I want to know if there was any fucking day that any of you did not drink that water bottle. Next week we're going to be giving you guys all booklets that has every single week adherence sheets and all these things that you're going to fill out week to week. But for now, all I want to do, I'm going to ask every single one of you next week if you did or did not do that. No pressure if you didn't. I just want to know because I want to see where everybody's at and see how hard that is for you guys. Alright. So now the restrictions. We got 2. Alright. They're not too bad, but they could change a lot for some of you. Number 1. The first restriction is no added sugar. Alright, so this applies to anything, whether it's something you drink or eat or whatever. You cannot add sugar to it. I'm not getting rid of sugar completely just yet because that's a little bit harder to do. But what I am doing is getting rid of you adding any type of sugar to your coffees, your teas, your foods, salads, things like that. So the coffees and teas are obvious. So honey, Splenda, straight up sugar, creamers, things like that. They're all types of sugar. You don't want those. All right, so get rid of those. Foods that naturally have sugar in it is okay for now. So if you're eating something that has sugar, like the nutritional label, that is okay for now. Right? What I'm doing is getting rid of you adding something on top of something else that has sugar in it. So where this gets a little more complex is things like ketchup, salad dressings, things like that that have sugar. Because again, you're adding those on top of something. So if I'm having a hamburger and I'm adding ketchup to it, then whatever I'm adding cannot have sugar. Alright, so there are, I think there's like 1 or 2 ketchups that I know of that don't have sugar. You probably have to get them online. It's called Paleo Ketchup if you're looking for that. But either way, it's not a crazy hard rule, like I said, because you're the one that's adding the sugar. So all you have to do is not do that. I'm not actually changing anything that you're eating yet. So whatever your breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or anything like that, whatever it is, can stay the same, as long as you don't add something to it. Hopefully I explained that enough and that makes sense. The second thing is not that hard. It's a little specific, so if you're not eating it right now, this isn't going to change much. But the second restriction is no pasta. All right. I'm going to put in parentheses here wheat. So you cannot eat any more pasta. Period. Stay away from it. That's it. All right. So we're going to get to the to-do part in a second. But just to review, the first rule that you're going to do day in, day out for this next week and every week after is drink 1 bottle of water upon waking up. If that is like fucking torture for you, then drink a half a bottle. All right. But do it when you wake up. You wake up, you roll out of bed, you grab that water, and you start drinking. Don't have it be cold. Have it be room temperature. If it's cold, it's going to be fucking awful. All right. Don't do that. That's that. The restrictions. So we got 2 restrictions this week. The first one, no added sugar. So if you have your food in front of you, you made your food, you cannot add anything on top of that food that has sugar in it. That includes drinks and food itself. So, like I said, the drinks are pretty easy. Honey, Splenda, sugars, all those things, creamers, they're done unless you have one that does not have sugar or any type of sugar added to it, which gets tricky. So if you mess this up, don't worry. Once we get into the getting rid of sugar, then I'll go over the different types of sugars and the names and stuff like that. But for now, do your best to not add anything on top of foods that has sugar inside of it. Second restriction, no pasta. That one's pretty simple, right? Just don't eat pasta. Okay. So, that's the rule and the restriction for week 1. Not too bad, alright? The no added sugar and the drinking the water is a pretty big deal though, alright? Those are really profound for having or setting the body up for the right stimulus to lose fat. So those are really, really important. The to-do, alright? So there's a couple of things I need you guys to do on your own this week. Nothing hard. The first one is to make sure you have that diet record done. It has to be done by now. I don't want these rules to be in what you wrote. Alright, I want to be seeing what you've been eating up until this point. So hopefully you have those done. And bring those in on Sunday. I need those. If you did not do that for some reason, then for the next 3 days, write down everything you eat and the times you eat it. Alright? The second thing I need you guys to do is to buy, there's 2 things I need you to do. Actually fucked this up, hold on. I need you to buy a couple supplements, alright? There's 2 that I need you to get, and there's 1 that's optional that's going to come in later. So I'm not going to dwell on that one too much. But for right now, what I need you guys to buy is fish oil and Greens Plus Strength. So fish oil, everybody's kind of heard of fish oil. There's a couple brands I'm going to put on the Facebook page, but you're looking for liquid. Alright, you're going to have to drink, or you're going to have to take a lot of fish oil. Unless you want to take like 20 pills a day, the liquid's going to be what you need. Alright? This is huge for getting rid of stomach fat. Alright, so if you feel like you have fat either on the side, on front of you or on the sides, then this is going to be a dream for you. Alright, so make sure you get this. It's going to be huge. Carlson's is a great brand, and Barlean's is a great brand. You're going to get the liquid that's either orange or lemon flavored. Buy a bottle for now. It'll last you about a month. Maybe less for how much I'm telling you to have. Again, I'll put the brands in the Facebook page, so don't be crazy about that. You can get it at Vitamin Shop or any regular supplement stores. Second thing, Greens Plus Strength. So instead of taking a multivitamin, you guys are going to take a Greens Plus shake. Alright? You're not going to take it yet. You're just buying the supplement so that when I make it a rule, you have it. Same with the fish oil. You're not taking that yet either. The green shake is basically, this is what it sounds like. It's fruits and vegetables that's ground up into a powder that you can scoop into a drink, and you drink it and you get about 10 servings of fruits and veggies without the calories, but all the micronutrients that you need from those foods that will help you make sure you have everything, or make sure you have a full deck of cards to deal with, right? Because if we're going to try to make you lose weight, I want to make sure that everything's actually working for that purpose. If you're missing certain cofactors or vitamins, that's going to fuck up your metabolism for losing fat, and we want to make sure that that's not in our way. All right, so those things are going to become important later on. Okay, that's it. The last thing I had here on this list was to buy protein, just powdered protein. That's going to come into effect not for another 2 weeks or so. So for now, you don't have to worry about that. But if you have the budget for it, you want to buy everything at once, then go ahead. There's a brand called True Athlete that's at Vitamin Shop. It's a great brand. I would get that for your protein. Just make sure there's nothing too crazy in it. Either way, if you have any questions, just put it into the Facebook page. If you're not on the Facebook page, email us ASAP and make sure that we add you to it. I'm going to post this video there. I'm going to email this video out. If you have any questions about anything here, make sure you post it in the Facebook group, because if you have the question, I'm sure other people will too. Alright? That is it. Alright, you have questions? Let me know. Good luck.